You are live. Ta-da! Hey, everybody. How's it going? All right. Let's get our charts set up here. Wait for everybody to join the meeting. We're looking at crude oil here. Boy, crude oil really moved up. Wow. Crude oil really made a move to the upside here. Let's go back and take a look at our idea. Right here. Look at that. Love it when a plan comes together. There's the opening range there and the demand zone. And there's the move in and the move out. And it looks like, looks like right there. I mean, that's pretty cool. I like how TradingView logs everything for you. Again, take a look at that. Here's what we predicted, right? Demand zone, opening range. Here's your entry, stop loss, 2 contracts, right? And then you just hit forward and you can see it actually take place. So this is when we placed the trade, or when we did the explanation. Came in, bounced around in that zone, and didn't go very far, but you can see what the move made. And you'll never know how far this is really going to go, right? But so there's your swing high right there, and there's your swing swing low. So swing low, swing high, and all this is in between. Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. So now we've got the 1 hour and the 15-minute has gone extended. And take a look how that 15-minute extended trend has pulled back and recalculated. Pulled back, recalculated, and now trying to make another move up, hitting that 50 simple moving average. So because we're below the 50 simple moving average, it's going to want to find resistance, because that's a level of resistance, right? The 50 simple. So if we're below the 50, we're saying this is going to come up, find resistance here, and move down, right? We've recalculated. It's going to go right to here, find resistance, and move down. That is the story on the 15-minute chart. Okay. I hope everybody sees that and understands that. Okay. What's the story on the 1 hour chart? The story on the 1 hour chart is this. Well, we've come up, pulled back into trend cloud, made a move up. We're extended support for a move up, possibly into the 7th wave, right? This is 6, 7. That's the story on the middle chart. What's the story on the high time frame? Break above, pulls back into trend cloud, make another move up. Okay, so we've got 2 time frames here where the story is continue the move up. The story on the lowest time frame, okay, is this. So which one is it going to be? So that's what you have to ask yourself when you are evaluating a trade, and you have to put the pieces together. That's how you put all the pieces together, okay? Is by evaluating each time frame and telling the story of price action. And that's what Trend Cloud is helping us do, right? Trend Cloud is helping us understand price action across multiple time frames. All right. Just want to do a check. Can everybody hear me okay? Can everybody out there hear me okay? Just type a yes in the chat for me, please. All righty. Yes, Mariana. Okay, excellent. Good. Just wanted to make sure. Steve, all right, good. Very good. Mariana, Steve, excellent. Okay. Telling Graham, all right, very good. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. So telling the story on the chart, very, very important to understand, what's going on. And that's what Trend Cloud is helping us do. It's giving us these key points. Which way is the trend going? Okay, that's why it turns green, obviously. When is the trend extended? Well, when the candles turn ice blue. Okay. When are we in a corrective phase? Well, when the cycle indicator starts to point down and you're in this uptrend. Like right now, you can see on the high time frame, we're starting that corrective move, right? We're starting that corrective move of this, right? Pulling back into Trend Cloud to make a move up. So the cycle indicator is starting to hook down and momentum is down, right? It's telling us that we're getting ready to make this move back into that high time frame Trend Cloud. Oops. And if we do like that, we can see it will draw it out for us across multiple time frames. There we go. Okay. So we know that on the high time frame, we're going to be pulling back into that high time frame Trend Cloud. And we know that the process is started because we're starting to hook down on our timing indicator. And momentum is down, right? The 1 hour chart, let's add something to that now. Let's add the fact that the 1 hour chart here is extended and it too is cycling down. Okay. And we don't quite have the momentum that we look for to take something like this short, right? So as this is pulling down, most likely, it will run into some sort of resistance, right? I'm sorry, support. It'll run into some kind of support, and maybe that's going to be the opening range on the high time frame. Perhaps that will be the opening range, So that's why we're using, these strategies and the opening range. We use supply and demand zones. It's really a mapping system, right? It's telling us the story across multiple time frames. Here we're starting to break above, all of this resistance here right now, at least. And what does that tell you? Well, if we're breaking above, that means it's not quite ready for a full downtrend yet, right? We're breaking above that 50 simple, breaking back above the Trend Cloud. Candle turned green again, right? So what narrative does that fit? Well, that fits the narrative of the trend, right? So maybe we're looking to peak just a little bit higher here or retest this area, right? Maybe we're going to retest this area. This is the thought process. This is what's going through your head, putting the pieces together to identify a trading opportunity. And that's what takes time, guys. But if you go through your course, and you that's why I broke up all the modules the way I did, so that you can get these little pieces of information and then put them together. And that's why I like to use these daily meetings for. Okay. So ADR checkpoints. Hello. Wow, pretty far away. Okay, so all the way up here. All the way up here. Pretty far away, right? So this, if we were going long, these ADR checkpoints up here would be targets. Okay. If we were in a downtrend and we had momentum on our side, on both time frames, we would use these as entry points. Okay. So if you're in an uptrend and you're going long, they're targets. If you're in a downtrend, okay, or if you're starting to break down, we would use these as entry points, right? So that we could take the trade short. We just don't have enough information to take the trade short, right? We've got a bit of mixed signals here. Not really in full alignment. We're going to come back up here where 912 right now. Let's see what the opening range is looking like. Okay, on crude oil, go to the 5. All right, so we're breaking out to the upside in an uptrend, right? Momentum, we've got the intermediate momentum, and we're heading for a retest here. So let's think about this. Well, if we want to take this long today and take a chance on capturing, that intermediate momentum, what would be the best scenario? How about we break above this structure here and retest this, right? For a move to that ADR checkpoint. How does that sound? Right? That makes sense, doesn't it? Oh, wow. Okay, we broke through some structure here, and then we pulled back because it usually pulls back into the opening range and then makes some sort of a move. Well, that sounds good. Okay. The fact that we broke below here, and what did we run into? Just consolidation. We ran into all this consolidation here. Here's a drop base. This is just consolidation. Too many basing candles, even on the 1 hour chart. Look at that rejection candle here. Wow. Okay, so yeah, very strong move to the upside on crude oil. What's it going to do? Retest this area, or is it going to break through? If it just retests, could be that this, is going to start breaking down. At least we know ahead. See, that's the whole thing with trading, right? We want to have all the information, as much information as possible. So getting good at identifying trend reversals, super valuable, right? What will your skill be? What do you want to be the best at? You want to be the best at trend reversals, or maybe you want to be the best at, supply and demand zones, or identifying patterns on the opening range. You'll fixate on something and you'll really get a really good, solid understanding of it. Cannabis. Wow. Graham is talking about some cannabis stocks that are moving. Might be some kind of news, right, Graham? Might be some kind of news. We know that news definitely plays like a catalyst. News is definitely a catalyst to to trading patterns. So, there we go. Okay. So that's the story there. Possible, right? Okay. Let's see what else is open. Let's go over to our metals. Well, we're here on natural gas. Let's see what natural gas is doing. Formed the opening range. Natural gas, high time frame, kind of just going sideways, right? Kind of just going sideways here. Here we've got momentum, a little bit more momentum to the upside. Didn't really cross positive 100 yet, though. Didn't really cross positive 100 yet. So still mixed signals. Nothing that's all in alignment, right? I don't really see anything all in alignment here. 15-minute recalculated. Okay. 5 waves, pulls back deep and hits this consolidation area here pretty much. Right. Pulls back and is trying to make a move up with this momentum. And look what we have here on the high time frame. This should be green, actually. But right here, what do we have? 50 simple. There we go. All right. What did this pull back into? Don't really see anything there on the 15-minute chart. Sometimes you won't see oh, there you go. Okay. Rally. That's really not anything, is it? It's really not anything. That's just a rally candle and a rally. Just a rally. A little stumbling block. Okay. Forming a rally base. These are all going to be basing candles in here, right? So don't really see any we don't really see anything spectacular. Okay. Micro gold, right? We knew micro gold on the high time frame was topping out, right? We knew it was topping out there. So drop base drop hits extended trend, right? This pullback took place on an extended trend, right? Pullback took place on an extended trend into a supply zone. Very powerful, right? Very, very powerful stuff. And made its move down. Formed a lower high, right? Here's your high. Up here's your high. And then you had a lower high, right? So what could happen here? Well, how about pulling back into that 50 simple? 50 simple. That's all the way up here. That's asking a lot. Let's go 15-minute chart. There we go. Breaking out to the downside on gold. We've got some support levels here, but we're still breaking out to the downside. Breaking out to the downside. Upward momentum. Mixed signals, right? But we've almost got the crossover here. We've almost got the crossover on that 4-hour chart. So, yeah. Okay. Again, we really want to see, I like this. I like that we're below the 50 and look at trend cloud. It's just so trying to cross over there. It is really trying to cross over there. Transition candles, right? Your yellow candles getting ready to turn red. We've already got it over here, right? We're trying to line everything up. So I love how the color system allows you to see more clearly the timing, right? Because timing, you want to get as close to timing as possible. And what do you want? What do you want lined up? Trend and momentum, right? We want trend and momentum lined up together. Instead of just taking every single supply and demand zone that you see, instead of just taking every supply and demand zone, so like, oh, wow, this is a really nice looking supply and or really nice looking demand zone. Okay, great. You've got a nice formation there. What about the trend direction on the higher time frame and the trend direction on the middle time frame? What's going on? What about momentum? Do we have that trend and momentum at least on 2 different time frames in alignment with each other? You know, that's a real edge, guys. That's an edge that if you wait for it, if you wait for that, you'll be so much happier with your results. You'll be a lot happier with your results. When trend and momentum are lined up on at least 2 time frames, you've got something very powerful. Now start looking for those supply and demand zones. Now look for the opening range breakout, or if you want to take the retest. Sometimes, I mean, to be honest with you, if you have, you know, your high time frame and middle time frame trend and momentum lined up, and the breakout itself is available to you, take the breakout. Because look at the risk to reward here on the micro gold, right? I'm not now. We don't have it. We don't have it lined up. But I'm just saying. You know, I mean, it's only an $84 risk with 2 contracts. So if we had trend and momentum, right? If we had a downtrend with downward momentum across both time frames, man, by all means, just take the breakout. Take the breakout. Here's structure. Put it right there above the previous day's open. Great. Take a chance on it. That's really the only time I would take a chance on the breakout, because how many times in a strong trend and strong momentum have we seen it just break out and just keep going? I mean, you'll never know when that's going to happen. So if you don't know what's going to happen, that means the risk part of your trade becomes super important. That's the most super important part, right? There you go, starting to flash there, right? Right. So we're seeing price action take place, and we're getting signaled, right? So we're getting signaled. We got this flash here, this crossover trying to take place. We cross over here. Now we'll have you know, a cycle down. So maybe it's going to do something like this. So just knowing that information, maybe it's going to do this. We get that crossover, and then it retests the opening range for a downward move. And by then, we'll get some sort of down signal on the momentum filter, right? As of right now, we've got some mixed signals. So again, Trend Cloud going to color coordinate everything for you. Apple, Graham is saying Apple in discussions to integrate Google Gemini. Wow, holy cow! I mean, that's big news. What does the NASDAQ look like if there's all this news coming out? Let's look at the micro NASDAQ. All this news coming out in technology. Well, there you go. Look at that, Graham. Look at. All right, so 4 hour down. 4 hours still in a downtrend, but I mean, look at what's happening here. Green 50 simple, right? Candles are rushing towards. If we break through on the high time frame, if we break through the 100 simple and the 50, well, wouldn't that be great? Because look, we've got momentum on multiple time frames. I mean, this is looking pretty good, man. So Graham is looking at stocks that are inside of the NASDAQ. And in the morning, if you're going to trade stocks or invest in stocks, oh, wow, Mariana. Wow, excellent. Beautiful. So Mariana saw, some opportunities after hours, right? On a Sunday, so that's why futures are so powerful. You have a lot of opportunity to make money in the futures market. But like I was saying, if you were going to trade or invest in some technology stocks, what you would do is look at the NASDAQ first. And you would say, okay, what's the NASDAQ doing? Wow, look at all this powerful momentum to the upside here. Okay, now go deeper. Start looking at Apple. Start looking at all these other Google and So the futures contract on the NASDAQ is going to give you a heads up as to what's going on in those technology sectors. But because our money is already leveraged in the futures market, we just trade the actual NASDAQ, right? Because your money's already leveraged. You don't need margin. Like if you were going to trade stocks, you really need to be on margin, which, But anyway, so we've got some action here. We've got some action. And Trend Cloud is telling us what that action is, right? It's telling us. That's why I programmed it to be color coordinated. We're still red, right? But look, 1 hour chart crossed over to the upside. There's your transition candle, yellow candle. Candles are turning green. We've already got that on the 15-minute chart. Pretty early in the trend, right? Here's the second wave. Maybe it wants to come up here, bounce around for a while. We're almost at the open, right? We're almost at that 9:30 open. I bet we see a pop here at right at 9:30. That's my bet. I bet we see, here we go. Let's see here. I bet we see some sort of pop past all this structure here. And that would be a great signal that this thing is going to move higher. But what are we heading for? Let's box it out. We've got some resistance levels here coming up, don't we? 50 simple on the high time frame, and the 100 simple. Those are major levels of resistance. It's also the previous day's high. We've got the previous day's high there. And what else? What is that? Previous month too, I think. Let's see. Yeah, previous week's open, previous day's high, previous month's close, all clustered together here in that area. Interesting. Let's see how it reacts. Okay. Let's see how that reacts. Most likely, the highest probability of what's going to happen here, right, is that it's going to rip through that. It's going to rip through that. Well, how do you know? Well, here's a green 50 simple, upward momentum, cycling up, right? This is powerful. When that cycle indicator and your momentum are in alignment, that's like a jetpack, right? Now, let's see if we break through this major level of resistance here. And remember, it just has to break through. It doesn't have to close above. It just has to break through it. Breaking through, breaking through. Huh. How did we predict this? There you go. There you go. Broke through. Now look where it's heading, right? It's heading for that ADR checkpoint. So in this particular case, if we break through and we break past this ADR checkpoint, most likely that's the end of it, unfortunately, right? So we don't want to get involved with trades that have already hit that ADR checkpoint. But we did break through. We did break through that structure, and we've got, where the heck is it? There we go. So if we pull back, right, we broke through. If we pull back to the new opening range, which is going to be somewhere in here, not much. We don't really have very far to go, do we? Like here's what it looks like. The opening range looks like it's going to be somewhere in here. So what are you going to do? You're going to break out, hit that ADR checkpoint, and then get the retest with all that upward momentum? You could, but you'll probably end up, just going sideways, So just be aware of that. Again, that's why we have certain these indicators, right? They're just little landmarks, right? And you don't have to have, if you don't want this stuff on your chart, TradingView, you can just take it away if you want, because there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I don't like having indicators on my chart. That's cool. No problem, man. Just you can just use them when you need them. It's just for visuals, right, guys? And they're very valuable. This is very, very valuable stuff to watch. So you don't have to have it. But people, like, when they first see a trading system that has indicators all over the place, they get a little frazzled because it's especially if you're taught just to read price action. If you're taught just to read price action, it's like they're purists, like, we don't use indicators. Like, well, that's kind of silly, I mean, they're for indicating, right? That's all. It's not a crystal ball or anything like that. So heading towards that ADR checkpoint there. So the action here, what the charts are telling us is that we've got momentum on our side. We're breaking through structure, and we're trying to form an actual uptrend, right? And we just got it on the middle time frame. So we've got uptrend on the low time frame, uptrend on the middle time frame, and we've got momentum on both time frames, on the higher and the middle, right? We're looking good here. Hey, good morning, Frank. Good to see you. So yeah, so we've got, we've got momentum and trend across multiple time frames. Control alternate H on the I symbol. Oh, interesting. Oh, thanks, Graham. Oh, let's say control alternate H. Oh, look at that. Oh, I guess you have to touch control alternate H. No? Interesting. Okay. So for me, control alternate H hides what I drew. It hides the drawings. That's cool, because when we draw a bunch of stuff, if we're like doing a demonstration here, let's say control alternate H. Yeah, look at that, man. Graham with the hack. Graham with the trading view hack. That's cool. I like that. Instead of going back and erasing everything. All right, right on, man. So there you go. Breakthrough structure. How did we know that was going to happen? Would we have been able to predict that if we didn't have a few of these indicators, right? So there's over the past 8 months now, guys, Trend Cloud is now 10 different indicators combined. You don't have to use them all at the same time, but we've got 10 different indicators to help us make decisions. That is all part now of the Trend Cloud system. So we're very, very proud of that. And you guys helped develop that. Trend Cloud, the reason why we have these morning meetings, these daily morning meetings, is one, to go over, any questions that you have, but and learn a little bit about, what the market looks like and how it moves with Trend Cloud, but also the development of the program, right? So, some of you were asking, hey, can we get alerts sent to our phone, right? And I was like, that's a great idea, so it's great that we can pull together as, a trading community and make the product better. And that's what we've done. So, so now you can get alerts to your phone. Like here, for instance, let's say, because we see all of this, and this is what, we're actually going to do. We see all of this upward movement. We're breaking through structure. We've got trend and momentum on our side. Let's set a Trend Cloud alert on that lowest time frame, right? How about let's drop down to the 5 minute. Okay, let's clear this. And let's set an alert on the 5 minute chart for a Trend Cloud signal. Go to Trend Cloud, up arrow, right? How about an arrow, right? A Trend Cloud momentum signal, right? And we'll say micro NQ. And there you go. So now on the next micro, when we pull back and we form a signal, an arrow, an upward arrow, it's going to go right to our phone. It's going to go right to our phone, and we're going to say, okay, let's see if we could, maybe get a retest of that area or take that signal itself. We could take that signal itself to the upside. All right, so it's fully functional. Kazi also came up with a scoring system, and that's on the posted in the Facebook private Facebook page. So if you want a scoring system for your supply and demand zones, according to TrendCloud, we've got that as well. So you guys help build out TrendCloud and make it better. I love that. I love that about this group. So very powerful stuff. So heading towards that ADR checkpoint now. Again, if you didn't have that on your chart, would you know what to look for? A lot of momentum beginning to hit the trend here, crossover on the TrendCloud, and we should be getting that again here. So where are we heading here? Well, here's a market edge. We just broke through this. So this up here. Okay. That's kind of around the second ADR checkpoint. And it's also rally base drop on the 1 hour chart. Okay. Not a lot of room, right? I wouldn't say we've got a tremendous amount of asymmetrical leverage here, right? Not a lot of space to move. We're kind of going from here, and we've got resistance, 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 right? Major level of imbalance right here. So does that mean we go short? Like, that always confused me as a beginner. It's like, oh, well, should we go short now? Well, no. Right? So we're coming up. We're going to be very high on the curve. We're going to be inside of this high time frame supply zone, but with all this upward trend and momentum. You've got to make sure that the pieces you put together fit the narrative on that highest time frame, right? So I want that, and I think a lot of instructors in different schools, even one of the things that used to really piss me off at Online Trading Academy was that the different instructors would sort of approach supply and demand a little differently, and they would forget about that trend, right? So you really want to take the trade in the direction of that middle time frame trend, the middle time frame trend. And what did we do at TrendCloud? We added momentum to that. So we've got trend and momentum because it's above positive 100 on that CCI indicator. We've got trend and momentum on our side, right? Here's the trend. We just broke to the upside. We've got trend reversal here. Momentum is above positive 100 on CCI. We want to be taking longs. We want to be looking for longs. Where's that going to take place? Well, start looking for those demand zones. Where are the demand zones located? Right inside of your trend cloud. Look left. Structure leaves clues. Don't see it? Drop down to the 5. Rally base rally. Okay, it's quite a ways. Look at where this rally base rally on the 5-minute chart is. It's right at that crossover at the 50 simple on the middle time frame. Pretty cool, right? Pulling back into this area here, pulling back into this area, hey, now you've got a demand zone with a level of support in an uptrend with momentum across multiple time frames. Boom, 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 hitting all those elements. Trend, momentum across multiple time frames, support, right? Level of imbalance. You got all 5 elements there, right? So beautiful, right? So this is a really interesting area that we've identified. You know, how much is it? It's real cheap. Look, one contract from here to here. Look at that little piece of structure there too, right? But if you take the entire rally base rally here, wow, 39.50. You can have 5 contracts of this thing and still be less than 1% of your total current account value. Okay. All right, there you go. There's the opening range on the NASDAQ. Opening range on the NASDAQ, slamming into an ADR checkpoint. That might be enough to bring it back down here eventually. Eventually. Brings it back down, hits this level of demand for the move up. But it might take all day, right? Maybe it does something like this. How long is that going to take? Maybe something like that takes place tonight. So you can set it and forget it. If it's going to take place overnight and maybe, well, you always want to max out close to that 1% to get the most out of every trade. No sense just taking one contract, All right. Let's take a look here. What is the Russell doing? Oh, Russell is pulling back into the 200. 200 simple moving average on that high time frame. Look what it did. Broke through, nice rejection. Found support, right? Got really close, found support again. Now it's heading forward again. Let's box it out from here to here. I kind of like purple for my demand zones. There you go. Golly, look at that opening range. Now, look what we've got here. Downtrend, downtrend, downtrend across all 3 time frames. Cycling down. Momentum is down. Cycling down. Momentum is down. We've got a lot of downward pressure here. Trend and momentum across multiple time frames to the downside. What should we do here? But we're heading towards this major level of support, which is the 200 simple. Let's examine that. Whoa. Last time it hit the 200 simple, this thing took off and never came back. Is it going to happen again? We don't know. But what we do know is that it's a major level of support. But with we've got a ton of trend and momentum across multiple time frame. So, we have to see some sort of reaction to this. Because we have trend and momentum to the downside, I mean, we're thinking this thing is is going to break below and find resistance and then make the move down. That kind of fits our narrative, doesn't it? So we have to wait and see. Always make sure that what you're looking for fits the narrative, and the story of trend and momentum. So we've got two situations here, right? We've got this 200 simple moving average on the high time frame, and trend and the price is, heading towards it, right? We're heading towards, there you go. We're heading towards that 200 simple. Breaking out to the downside, that makes sense. Breaking out to the downside makes sense because look, trend down, momentum is down, cycling down, momentum is down on the middle time frame. We've got a ton of force to the downside, but we're running into that 200 simple. So we have to watch it make a reaction. What if we drop down to the 5-minute chart, which is what we're on? Okay. What if we look for a reversal pattern? Yes, we have a ton of downward momentum, right? But what if it hits or goes a little bit past, right? And then on this low time frame, we see something like this. That would be our first indication. That's the pattern that we look for. That would be our first indication of the 200 simple is being used as support, right? The 200 simple is being used as support, and we can identify that by dropping down to that lowest time frame and just watching the price action, right? Just watching that price action. Okay. What if, and we've got that ADR checkpoint right there as well. So by the time it hits the ADR checkpoint, we're going to be out of steam, right? We're going to be out of steam. And then maybe then it wants to start climbing out today. With all of the force, now remember, this is the high time frame. Take a look. Come on. Oh, sorry. Right here. There's the 200 simple on the 4-hour chart. Right here. With all of this trend and momentum and force to the downside, isn't it possible that we have something like this, right? We break below the 200, comes up, previous support becomes resistance, and the move down. That's a possibility, especially with all this momentum and trend to the downside, right? So you've got two scenarios here that you're watching for. And you can see that take place, right? You can see this take place on the low time frame as well. And on the low time frame, if in fact this wants to go, break below, breaks below, retest. Remember, this is now the 5-minute chart. Okay, if we see this, then we know that trend and momentum are stronger than that 200 simple, right? You guys see that? So that's one scenario. And the other is it hits the 200 simple, makes a move, higher low, and right there, right? That's the scenario. To be aggressive, you can take the trade right there. You can take that entry right there, or you take the retest of it for the move up. What is that? What's going on, Graham? Down $17. I know it will cover, but oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, don't revenge trade. Yeah, exactly. And if it's a stock that you're trying to accumulate, right? Remember, when you want to accumulate stocks, drop down to that 1 hour chart. Let's see. Drop down to that 1 hour chart, like on Google or something. Wow, Google is super extended there. But if you just accumulate stocks at the crossover of your trend cloud, you make out really well, right? You make out really well. Right here, accumulate. It's on sale, right? On sale, on sale. We love to see stocks go on sale and turn blue, right? We love seeing those blue candles to the downside on our stocks. We love seeing that. Everybody else panics. They're like, oh my gosh, the stock is crashing. But if it's a stock that you're interested in, like Google, like when Google is in a downtrend on that 1 hour chart and candles start to turn blue, I mean, just wait for that crossover, man. That's like the perfect timing. This is a great timing indicator for accumulating stocks. CRISPR, a lot of people love CRISPR. CRISPR's on sale, isn't it? CRISPR's extended to the downside. Here's where we bought it last, right? Trend cloud crossover, went extended all the way up, and now we're extended to the downside. Get ready. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to our green list. Let's check on the, let's see here. Platinum. Platinum broke out to the downside. 15-minute chart. So here you go. So here's a great example. Here's a great example. What did we have here on the high time frame? Right, we had this demand zone cycling down, momentum is down. Look at these look at this. Look at how trend cloud on that momentum filter, it just gave you all this bearish divergence. As price was going up, divergence, 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 right? Breaks through, starts to break through that demand zone. And why did it break through? Well, we had cycling down. There's our alert. There's our alert on the NASDAQ. Opening range, break to the downside, right? Go figure. Broke to the downside, go figure. Trend reversal. Momentum is down. Momentum is down. Breaking below the 50 simple on the 4-hour chart. Great. Look what this did. Pulled right back into trend cloud and made a move down. Right? Opening range. Let's try to take the retest. Okay. Retest of that opening range on platinum to the downside. Little expensive, right? That's a little expensive. How about the middle? We'd have to do something like that. There you go. Pulls back, retests, retest the 15-minute 50 simple for a move down. I like that. I like that. Let's check out NASDAQ. Micro NASDAQ. Five-minute. Okay. All right, so we're forming. So we're starting to form. So there's the candle. You can see the candle forming, and you can see the trend cloud signal forming. That's why we got the alert. But now we've hit that ADR checkpoint. All right, let's think about this. We hit the average daily range, and we are now extended. So what I'm thinking is it's going to retest this area up here. We're going to retest this area up here for right now, but we need to pull back deeper. And look what we've got here. I like that right there. Okay. Here's our current situation. We want to go long. We want to go long on NASDAQ because of all this, right? Cycling up, momentum is up, cycle is up, okay, above, right? Cycle is, it's at the top of the cycle, but we're just sort of bouncing. We're just sort of bouncing at the top there. Momentum and trend are on our side. Momentum and trend are on our side. So we want to go long, but we're extended on this 5-minute chart. And right down in here is a 1-hour demand zone. So this in here is what we're looking for. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Can even pull this right to the top of that basing candle there. There you go. When will that take place? I don't know. That's probably going to take place later tonight. So I'd be looking for a retest of this demand zone here. Here's the breakout. We broke through all the structure, hit that ADR checkpoint. You might say there's enough money to go, enough money to be made going short from here back to here, but you're going against trend and momentum, and we don't like to do that. So I would rather just wait for it to creep down here, find support inside of this level of imbalance with momentum and trend on our side to the upside. You've got yourself a great trade, right? So again, great job today, everybody. looking for trend and momentum across those multiple time frames, and just putting the pieces together and applying your trade plan to trend and momentum every single day. That's what you get good at, right? You master that and you become a very dangerous person in the market, okay? Trend and momentum across multiple time frames. Get good at it. Get good at identifying how to line that up and how to see that across multiple time frames, and you're going to be real dangerous in the market. Excellent. All right, guys. Great job, everybody. I'll see you again tomorrow, 9 a.m. And until then, happy trading. Take care, everyone.